A bustling eatery buzzed with soft murmurs and the clatter of dishes, yet every noise seemed to fade when Noah stepped between the shaken server and the well-dressed man who had shouted "Atha." "She's with me," Noah said, his voice calm but strong enough to cut through the room's strain. The tycoon Sophia Bennett, seated at the edge table with her group, paused mid-reach for her drink, her gaze fixing on the lone father who had altered the pulse of her night. Something in his stance, guarding yet serene, as if he'd learned to weather tempests without letting them overflow, made her heart falter. Others saw just another patron shielding a server. She saw a man with unseen tales behind his eyes. Noah hadn't aimed to stand out. He was only there to grab takeout after his long day at the workshop, picturing how his daughter Emma would greet him with a lopsided grin and endless queries about her schoolwork. But when he saw the server wilt under the harsh words of our rich patron, he couldn't stay silent. Standing up for others came naturally to him since life pushed him to be strong for Emma after her mother left. He nudged the server behind him with a small nod, then glanced around, feeling the stares piercing his back. One came from her, the woman whose name all knew, but whose world none truly grasped. Sophia Bennett had spent most of her 26 years viewing life through sleek car windows, high-rise glass, designer shades. Heir to a vast luxury empire, she had all but the freedom to breathe without eyes on her. The evening had started like any other business dinner, her father's old allies and their refined offspring orbiting her as if she were a prize to be won or admired. Then Noah's voice broke through, low and sure, and something in her stirred. He didn't flinch under the looks. He didn't seem to see her as more than another face at a table. She envied that calm. After the manager led the upset man away, Sophia watched Noah check on the server and head for the door, his takeout bag swinging gently in one hand. A sudden urge she couldn't name pushed her tucked to not let the moment slip. She excused herself from her group and followed, catching him just outside where the city air hinted at rain. "Wait," she called. Noah turned, his weary eyes softening as he took in her costly gown, her tentative pose. "I just wanted to thank you." People rarely speak up in moments like that. "It's nothing," he replied, shifting the bag in his grip. "Sometimes you just have to act." He seemed ready to go, but Sophia wasn't done. There was a quiet honor in him that didn't fit the busy streets or the glare of cameras waiting across the way. She asked his name, and when he shared it, she gave hers, though he didn't react with the awe she expected, who just nodded, as if her fame mattered less than how she spoke. Over the next few days, Sophia couldn't forget Noah's steady presence. She found the small cafe where he sometimes took Emma after work and watched from the entrance. Ash chuckled with his daughter, a laugh that crinkled his eyes' edges. She paused before stepping inside, unsure if she fit in a world where love felt so pure and simple. Noah greeted her with mild surprise, but no judgment, inviting her to sit. Emma, curious and bright-eyed, asked who she was, and Sophia smiled, answering carefully, hiding the weight of her name. But Sophia's life wasn't made for quiet spaces. Whispers soon spread through her circle. Rumors about the heiress spending time with a mechanic, tales spun to harm both their names. Her father, guarding the family legacy, confronted her, warning she couldn't risk their status for a man who didn't suit their image. Sophia felt the old chains tighten, but she couldn't forget how Noah stood in that eatery, firm as a lighthouse. She craved that strength, not just for herself, but for someone who might see her beyond the headlines. When she met Noah again at the park where Emma flew a kite, her heart raced with hope and fear. She shared the pressure closing in, how easy it would be to walk away, yet how impossible it felt. Noah listened, his face unreadable at first, then softened by empathy. "You don't owe anyone the version of you they expect," he said softly. "The only debt is to live a way you won't regret later." Sophia knew then that staying in the comfort of expectation would mean losing herself completely. She began carving small pockets of freedom, skipping some social events, inviting Noah and Emma to a quiet art gallery, introducing them to friends who valued kindness over status. Slowly, she built a bridge between their worlds, step by step. There were setbacks, Tabloids snapping photos, her father's disapproval, Noah's hesitation to expose Emma to scrutiny. But each hurdle only tested how much they'd fight for something true. One rainy evening, Sophia found herself back in that same eatery, now waiting at a corner table. Noah arrived late, his hair wet, Emma tucked under his arm with a coloring book. He looked at Sophia and saw not the heiress the city admired or envied, but the woman who chose to sit with him through storms. As they shared a calm meal, Sophia realized she no longer felt trapped under anyone's gaze. The warmth between them, the giggles spilling from Emma's lips, was a quiet defiance against a world too quick to judge worth by wealth. By the time they stepped outside, the rain had ceased. Sophia slipped her hand into Noah's, ignoring the cameras across the street or the whispers they might spark. Life would never be as simple as the tales people spun about them, but it could be true. And in truth, there was space for courage, love, and the hope of a life built on choice, not expectation. A life they were starting, one steady step at a